Greetings and salutations, my dearest friends. My name is Samantha, and today I'm going to be chatting about some of my favorite books. Hello, how are you? And welcome back to a little challenge that I've been doing called 100 Days, 100 Books. Basically what this is that every day for 100 days I am recommending some of my favorite books. I post these videos daily on my socials like Instagram and TikTok, and then here on YouTube I post once a week just giving you a roundup of the 7 books I recommended that week. Basically what this is me really just sharing all of my 5-star reads, my favorite books of all time, having a place where I can chat about the books that I love. I'm such a mood reader, and I do read a variety of genres like cozy mysteries, fantasies, romances, just a little bit of everything. So I think this is fun to kind of give you a variety of recommendations. It has just been a fun little project that I've been doing for the past couple of weeks. So yeah, if you want to see daily recommendations, make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I have videos and playlists and graphics all over there if you want daily recommendations. And then here on my YouTube, I also have a playlist of the other videos I've done within this little challenge, 100 Days, 100 Books. This is just a quick little intro kind of explaining what 100 Days, 100 Books is. I did film clips throughout the week kind of recommending books to you guys daily as I was doing the videos, so I'll go ahead and play those clips. I do have quite a variety of recommendations. I have some fantasy, some romance, I even recommended a classic, so hopefully you'll find something that you will like. And yeah, I'll just go ahead and play all of the clips for all of the recommendations. Hello, hi, hello. I just finished filming my clip of the day for 100 Days, 100 Books, and I just remembered to turn on the camera and film it here as well. Anyways, 100 Days, 100 Books. Today's recommendation, I decided to recommend a fantasy romance today, and that is Lacuna by N.R. Walker. This is a male-male fantasy romance with a very cool, like, world-building aspect to it. It follows 4 kingdoms. Each ruler was marked at birth, destined to rule, each born with a very specific birthmark by fate on their wrist, and that is how they became rulers. There's a great war happening prior to their birth, but now each kingdom is separated and there's a lot of like peace and prosperity. They have each known their entire life that once they all turn 25, they are supposed to all meet together to kind of celebrate the peace from the Great War. There's supposed to be like a huge festival and ceremony, and they're also supposed to like battle with each other. As they get there to the grand ceremony, they realize they haven't really been told the truth about their past, and something weird is happening in the kingdoms. 2 of the rulers, our 2 heroes, end up meeting for the first time and instantly feeling drawn together. They quickly realize that their birthmarks are binding them together in a soulmate bond. They're now magically linked together and they cannot spend a lot of physical distance away from each other. This is definitely an enemies to lovers romance. Both of our characters come from very different backgrounds, very different kingdoms, and they need to work together to save their respective kingdoms. I love this one. It is such a good, underrated fantasy romance. It has less than 2,000 ratings on Goodreads, and I just feel like N.R. Walker in general has some really great hidden gems that not a lot of people are talking about. So if you're looking for a queer fantasy romance with a very cool magic system, this will definitely be the book for you. It also has a very heavy found family trope. So if any of those are some buzzwords for you, here you go. That's today's recommendation, Lacuna by N.R. Walker. Just ignore my hair. I am gonna get a haircut, but like I have no product in it right now and it's just like a mess. What are you doing, dude? Anyways, I'm here for my daily recommendation. I decided to recommend a paranormal romance. This is Twilight of Embers by Tessa Hale. It is the first book in the Dragons of Ember Hollow series. This is a paranormal why choose dragon shifter romance that I am in love with. I've talked about so much on my channel. I'm sure you guys have heard me rave and rave about Tessa Hale. I've read the majority of her backlist and just have really enjoyed it. There's something about her books, I can't explain it. There's something about her books that are so addicting. I literally eat them up like candy. I can finish her books in one sitting. I just love her writing style. Like, I don't know how to explain it. If you like paranormal romances or why choose romances, you will love Tessa Hale. Most of her books are in Kindle Unlimited. Most of her series are amazing. But her most recent series is her Dragons of Ember Hollow series. This follows our heroine Hayden, who at a young age lost both of her parents and has really been alone her entire life and felt a little bit like an outcast. The story really picks up when she goes to college and she wants to just start fresh, okay? She wants a new life for herself. She wants to blend into the background. Well, when she gets to campus, she ends up having a pretty strong connection with 5 guys. Again, this is why I choose. Turns out out that these guys are not only dragon shifters, but they're also her fated mates. I would highly recommend the audiobook. The audiobook for this series is fantastic because it is fully casted. Each character has their own narrator. It's told in multiple point of views, which is perfect because it is a wide choose romance, and it allows each hero to feel like their own character and they don't like all blend together. If you like very alpha, possessive, who did this to you heroes, then you'll absolutely love this series. Since this is a first in a trilogy, it does end on a cliffhanger. You have to read the trilogy in order, but all 3 books are pretty fast paced and the series is completed. I feel like you guys could easily catch up. The first book is called Twilight of Embers, the second book is Midnight of Ashes, and then the third book is Dawn of Flames. I read a lot of wide choose romances. You guys know my motto, more people, more fun, and I just feel like Tessa Hale really does it so well. So if you're looking for a fun paranormal romance series to pick up, I highly recommend this series, the Dragons of Ember Hollow series. My recommendation for today. I will see you tomorrow with another recommendation. Hello again. I don't even know what day we're on, but I filmed the next 2 recommendations. I did end up pre-filming today because I know that this upcoming week is going to be a little busy, so I don't want to like miss any videos. So I filmed day 17 and day 18 today. Both of them were romances. I'll go ahead and talk about them. So for day 17, I recommended You and Me by Tao Bauer. This is a male-male contemporary romance. It follows our hero Luke, whose wife had recently passed away. Her passing is kind of met with a lot of conflicted emotions because they didn't have a very healthy relationship, and now he is the sole guardian of his teenage son. He's going through quite a time in his life where he feels lost and unhappy, but his sole focus is to be like the best dad ever, but he's really struggling to connect with his son. So in a way to kind of like have a bond with him, have something in common with him, he ends up volunteering for his son's high school football team. That is where he meets our hero Landon. Landon is another single dad. He's also the president of the PTA. Him and Luke's son are playing on the same team, but they're also best friends, so they spend a lot of time together. In spending all that time together volunteering, it follows Landon and Luke's slow burn, really sweet romance. This is a friends lovers romance with a bi-awakening, which is like one of my favorite tropes ever. What really is so strong about this book though is the found family aspect, because you're reading about Luke as he is discovering himself, but also mending the bond between him and the most important person in his life, which is his son. And seeing that like familial relationship in this book is so deeply emotional. I was sobbing throughout this entire book, like completely sobbing, obsessed. And the romance, the thing is like Tao Bauer has a lot of books that are so amazing because he has such a way of writing that it feels like his characters are true soulmates. I'm someone who is very character driven and I love feeling all the feels. I love feeling all of the emotions, and Tao Bauer does that so well. He has quickly become one of my favorite authors for that reason, because his characters feel like true soulmates, and I just think he's perfect. Tao Bauer is so good at what he does, but this is one of my favorites, and I feel like it's a little underrated. A lot of people tend to pick up like his hockey romance, or he has like another football romance that's really popular, but this one I don't hear a lot of people talking about, and it's criminal because this is the best one that he has. Then the next one is another favorite, of course. These are all my favorites. And it is a contemporary romance. It is Swallow Your Pride by Sarah Blue. This is a taboo age gap romance. It follows our heroine Jessa, who is the daughter of an affair. She doesn't really know her father's side of the family that well because, you know, her being born was very taboo. But her father recently passes away and she discovers that she was left in the will. So she goes to the funeral to like see what's going on, and she realizes that she has a sibling she never really knew about. Her father left her some property as well as the shares in his very successful sporting company. So she is in a place in her life where she's not really doing that well financially, and she can definitely use the money. So she decides to work for her dad's company, and that is where she meets our hero. Our hero is one of the CEOs of the company. He was her dad's best friend and business partner, and it follows their age gap taboo office romance. Also has a little bit of a zaddy kink if you're into that. It's very sexy. I love Sarah Blue. I've read a lot of her backlist as well. And so if you're looking for like a fun age gap romance, Swallow Your Pride is a really good one. And it's also on Kindle Limited if you want to check it out. I think You and Me is also on Kindle Limited. Most of my recommendations probably will be on Kindle Unlimited or like available at your library, because that's where I read the most. Sorry if I was talking fast. I was just trying to get the recommendations out, but I will see you guys tomorrow.
I have to finish that line. Go ahead.
Okay, thanks. Hi guys. I think we're on day 21. Where's the book?
Somewhere.
Oh. I was sitting on it. Day 21. I'm feeling a little tired and I'm still feeling sick, but we are here. And today I have a romance to recommend to you. This is a male romance. It's called The Remaking of Corbin Whale by Roan Parrish. This one is really good for those of you who like movies like Practical Magic. I think that's what this book was actually inspired by. It is a cozy magical realism romance. It follows our hero Alex, who recently went through a breakup, and he's not really sad about the breakup because he realizes that he was just not satisfied in life. He wasn't happy in his relationship. He wasn't happy at his job. So he breaks up with his boyfriend. He quits his job, packs everything up, and decides to follow his lifelong dream. He moves back home in Michigan, I think is where this takes place. Cannot confirm. I think it takes place in Michigan. He moves back to his hometown and opens up a bakery. And that is where he meets Corbin Whale. Corbin is kind of on the outside of society. A lot of people think he's weird and eccentric and different, and he doesn't really fit in. But when he goes to this bakery and meets Alex, they immediately have a connection with one another. Alex just completely understands Corbin and allows him to be his authentic self, which is so beautiful to read about. Corbin ends up working for Alex in the bakery, and the two of them just bond throughout the book. It is a cozy romance where they're baking and healing and falling in love. Has a little bit of a magical realism vibe. I think Roan Parrish has this very beautiful lyrical writing that is so engaging to read. I also think this is a wonderful book to read during like the fall and winter time because it takes place during Hanukkah, and you see a lot of kind of like traditions about Hanukkah that I honestly didn't know much about, kind of like traditional foods and stuff like that. So yeah, it's such a great read. You can see that I have tabbed so many parts of it because there's so many like amazing quotes. I read this and tabbed this a while ago, so I'm kind of interested to see some of the quotes. Our hero Alex is literally a cinnamon roll that bakes cinnamon rolls. That I do remember. Okay, so kind of the description of Corbin Whale. He was the most beautiful man Alex had ever seen. Strange looking, a bit awkward, and half wild. The way animals were that lived side by side with people but never went inside as pets. His face and the set of his shoulders made Alex want to tramp through the woods as the leaves fell, run through fields to tumble him down on sun-warmed grass, press flowers to his lips to see which were softer. Beautiful. I just love the description of things and the description of the romance and the love. This gave like very soulmate energy, so I love it. Am I boring you? My sister's on my bed yawning.
I'm tired. And that I was like this when you read that part.
It was cute?
Yeah.
Aww. Okay, so yeah, definitely pick mock me. This is today's recommendation. It's an amazing read. Pick it up. The Remaking of Corbin Whale by Roan Parrish. She writes a bunch of male romances that are also really good, but this one's my favorite. It's pretty short. It's like less than 300 pages, I think. Yeah, 201 pages. So I would consider this novella length, and it's a really great read. That's today's recommendation. Hello, my friends. How are you? Today, I have a recommendation for you. 100 Days, 100 Books. And I decided to recommend a historical romance. I've really been wanting to pick up more historical romances recently. I feel like that was like the core of my channel when I first started making videos, and then it kind of like tapered off and I started reading other things. But I really do love the historical romance genre. I just feel like it embodies everything that romance is and really is like what started the genre, right? So anyways, I don't know where I was getting with that rant, but if you're looking for a really good historical romance to pick up, I would recommend If the Duke Demands by Anna Harrington. This is the first in the series, but the rest of the books can be read as a standalone. It follows our heroine Miranda, who is hopelessly in love with her best friend, her childhood best friend, at least she thinks she is firmly stuck in the friend zone and cannot get out. So they're having a masquerade party or masquerade ball, and she decides to take advantage of that. She's wearing a mask, she's wearing a sexy dress, she decides she's gonna turn into a whole ass vixen. The only thing is, she ends up stumbling into the wrong room. She stumbles into the room of the Duke, Sebastian, who happens to be her best friend's older brother. I'm sharing like a very steamy moment before figuring out who the other person is and freaking out. Sebastian ends up agreeing to help Miranda to kind of get his brother's attention, maybe give her some sexy lessons in the process. In doing all of that, they end up falling for each other, so kind of like the wrong brother trope. If you like a grumpy sunshine pairing, you'll love this one because the banter between our characters is so fun and so humorous, but somehow still so incredibly romantic. And I will just say, this is a very fun, sweet historical romance. There is some scandal, there is some angst, but really I just think it's very humorous and sweet, and I love it a lot. I did meet Anna Harrington one time at a book signing, and she was so lovely and so adorable, and yeah, very much love this one. I don't know why I worded it like that. I have reread this, and the mass market is like literally like falling apart, but you know what, that just shows how much I love it. Anyways, I will see you in the next clip, which will be tomorrow for me to talk about the next recommendation. Hello, it is the next day and we're talking about Carmilla, which is a classic. I thought I would switch it up a little bit. You guys know I mainly love my romances, my cozy mysteries, very cutesy. Where was I going with this? Very often that I talk about classic books or recommend classic books. I mean, I've read a couple, I've liked a couple, but I mainly read romances and cozy mysteries. It is what it is. Some of my favorite classics are kind of like the more gothic ones. Like I really loved Dracula. I mean, I really love Dracula. I even have like a bat tattoo because of it. That book was really influential in my life because it's what made me a reader, I would like to say. I used to read all the time, elementary school and middle school. Once I read Dracula, I was reading like a book a day. Very avid reader. I was reading a lot of paranormal romances, vampire literature. Anyways, the reason I'm saying that is because today is another very classic vampire book that actually predates Dracula, and I don't feel like it gets enough attention for all of the books and authors that it has since inspired. Carmilla is prominently known for being this very gothic vampire book, but it's also kind of like, you know, a staple in queer literature, okay? Carmilla is a sapphic icon, if you will, and you cannot tell me any different. I'm considering it a classic. It was written in 1871, and although it was written so long ago, somehow it still feels very modern, and I love this gothic, gory, vampiric undertone. It follows our main character, Laura, who is pretty lonely. She lives in an isolated mansion, just her father and her staff, and the story starts off by following Laura when she is younger, and you kind of know that she has been exposed to paranormal creatures, but it's not really given a name. She's not really understanding what is happening, and then the story picks up a little bit later when she's older, and there was a carriage accident right outside of her family's estate. That is where she meets Carmilla. Carmilla is seen as this young girl who was involved in this carriage accident and needs to stay with her family so that she can, you know, get healthy and whatnot. But of course they are inviting a literal monster into their home, and the story follows from there. Carmilla is a vampire, and this book is gothic and gory and a little horror filled, but it's also kind of seductive as well. Let me find some illustrations for you because I love this copy because it is illustrated. Like, just like, oh my god, come on. The vibes, the tones. We're entering into the fall season, into the spooky season, and as you're kind of like filling your TBR, I feel like this would be a really good book to pick up if you like vampire books, if you like books with gothic writing style. This was the blueprint. It quite literally was, and I will always give it its flowers. Pleasantly surprised when I picked this up. It's quickly become one of my favorite books. Another great vampire book to recommend. You guys know I'm vampire obsessed. Like, I literally cannot get enough. Every single person in my life knows how obsessed I am with vampires, and I always tell them that when they find out that vampires exist, and if they ever become one, they need to immediately turn me into one, because that's what they need to do, okay? You know what? Actually, let me prove it to you. Sophia! Can you come here for a second? Oh my god, look at this one. Look at this illustrated. Can you see it? Oh, so stunning. My sister's coming over right now.
What?
I have a question for you and answer honestly and truthfully.
God.
What do I always say? Okay. If you were to ever find out that vampires existed and you were a vampire, what is your first thing that you need to do?
Never turn you into one.
What?
I'm kidding. Turn you into one.
Thank you. You have to turn me into one. Thank you very much.
Is it new?
No, it's not new. I just don't wear it often. But it's cute. It's from Hello Lovely. Hello Lovely box. I don't know if they still have it in stock, but I will leave it down below. Thank you, my love. That's all I need.
Why? Who are you telling them?
I'm telling the people.
Who are you
I
telling
was
the
recommending a vampire book, and I was telling them that I was vampire obsessed, and I just needed to know, I needed them to know the gravity of the situation. Anyways, that is today's recommendation. Hopefully you guys pick it up, because I love it so much, and I will see you tomorrow for tomorrow's recommendation. Why are you touching my shape, girl?
Oh my
What
God,
is
this
going
is
on?
so cute,
It is
though.
very cute,
Where'd
I
you
know.
get this?
My friend got it for me for my birthday.
You just have that nice friend.
I know, they're so nice. Here,
Everything.
give me so I can show the people.
Wait, this is so cute.
I know.
I like
My
it.
friend got me this for my birthday. It's a strawberry shortcake bag from, is it from Box Lunch? Yeah. Isn't that so cute?
Sure,
So
sure.
me,
The
so cute.
strawberries look weird.
You look weird. Anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow for tomorrow's recommendation. Bye!
Okay, so that was week 3 wrapped up, day 15 through 21. Hopefully there were some books in there that you guys haven't read or that sounded interesting to you. That's it. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you stayed this long and you liked the recommendations, leave me an emoji. What emoji should we use? Leave me a vampire emoji, since we recommended Carmilla in this video, and that's one of my favorite classics of all time. So if you stayed this long and you enjoyed the video, leave a vampire emoji so I know that we're bookish besties. As always, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to spend time with me. It means the world to me. I hope you guys are all staying happy and healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!